Hello, it's me, Ribbon-Claw. Okay, I'm gonna explain Bubsy is not a laughing stock anymore. I'm gonna prove Bubsy is good enough to come back, even after all we've been through, okay? Bubsy is back. Bubsy is good again. Bubsy is not going anywhere after we figure out what he can do next and stuff. And I know what I mean. So here's the whole Bubsy timeline without Fractured Fairy Tales, because the Bubsy multiverse does exist. Do not say Fractured Fairy Tales had something to do with it. No, I am trying to say Bubsy has a multiverse, and we're going to go through most of the order, despite there's probably some story things that weren't explained in the original or something like that, or some other alternate timeline stuff or something like that. So please in the heck understand about Bubsy's whole entire history right now, okay? So here we go. The history of Bubsy. Please do not misunderstand, okay? Okay, first we got Bubsy, Claw's encounter or something like that. And this is the first game. Do not mistake this for anything else much. Okay, so Bubsy was probably just trying to pick up some actor work until the Woolies try to steal the yarn from different parts of the earth, I guess. I don't know how many different parts of the earth, much maybe, but mostly Bubsy finds out Polly and Esther were stealing the earth yarn, and he had to beat Polly and Esther. Probably in the progress, do we find out there could be like Golden Fleece somewhere? Probably. And I think that will be explained later on about Golden Fleece, or maybe it was the same time period. I don't really know. But so now we get to Bubsy 2. Bubsy 2. Virtual reality accidentally goes to the wrong boss in general. I'm sure of it. Virtual reality ends up getting kidnapped by the evil business pig named Oinker or something like that. I think his name was Oinker. But typically Bubsy defeats Oinker, but would he come back again? Probably. Maybe. We can explain that later too. After Bubsy 2 is I think Bubsy 3D. Now there's two possible story points to Bubsy 3D. Please understand that Bubsy 3D has have two different stories, not three. Darn it, why am I getting mixed up with that? There's two different stories about Bubsy 3D. The first story is Bubsy, the 3D thing, was probably where Bubsy's grandpa made Bubsy and rebuild back society or something like that, possibly. And the second story, why am I get third and 3D mixed up for? Oh well, the second story is that virtual reality knew what happened, what Bubsy did last time, and mostly we find out that I think because of Bubsy 40, mostly the last time Bubsy had a 3D adventure, we already know what kind of happened, but at the same time, Bubsy knows something kind of went wrong before and stuff, and I don't know how much wrong. But typically Bubsy managed to make sure the Woolies didn't do anything further or something like that. Probably. Now we get to Strike and Pause universe, I guess. Strike and Pause universe, where we find out maybe in the same time period Bubsy discovers the Golden Fleece. And I think the Woolies took the Golden Fleece in that time universe thing or something like that. The Golden Fleece by Woolies. Bubsy beats the Woolies, and then they beat Oinker again and Pause a Fire or whatever. But Oinker could not be canon anymore, maybe, or maybe he is some type of canon. I don't know, but mostly Bubsy defeated two enemies, and they end up having a different enemy by the time 4D comes along. So please understand, we are now to 4D, And Bubsy 4D is the current game, despite it was released kind of alongside the Perfect Collection. And do not say Fractured Fairy Tales had something to do with it. No, I don't think so. Well, let's get to 4D. Okay, Bubsy 4D is about Bubsy 4D. Bubsy goes fighting the bad bots, whatever. So they defeat the bad bots, and that's all until we have to figure out anything further in the future. But the truth is, Bubsy 4D is the last game to kind of go in the full circle, but the truth is, Bubsy will be remembered as the best character ever after people understand that Bubsy went through everything. And thus ends the story of Bubsy the Bobcat.